Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to our second week of the Coin Collector game. Woo! Do you guys remember what we were doing last week for Coin Collector?
Yeah, we were doing coordinate grid.
Yeah, we were doing the coordinate grid, exactly, to figure out where everything went. What else were we doing?
We had the images of this man who was collecting the coin.
Yeah, we had a little leprechaun collecting the coins. We had the coins on the screen. So we want to have a couple other things. We want our coins to move around, and we want to keep track of how many coins we have, right? Because you guys have played those games. Most of the time you have a score, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to make a score for our game. And to do that, we need our phones to keep track of some data. And we're going to do that using something called a variable. A variable is just something that the computer remembers. It could be a list, it could be a word, it could be a number, it could be anything. In our case, it's going to be a number. It's going to be our score. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make all of you pretend to be variables right now. So what I want you to do is I want you to put up a finger every time I say a word that starts with S. All right? So just hold up your hand. Just think. Right now I've said 0 words that start with S. Or I'm sorry. Do when I say go. That's what I meant. When I say go, you're going to keep track. And when I say, what's the number? I want you to tell me. Right?
Okay.
Ready, set, go. Coding is super fun and makes you smart. So what's the number?
2.
2, exactly. And that's the way we have variables. We have that when do of when I say a word that starts with S, do add 1 to your number that you were thinking of, right? It keeps track. And then we can get that variable. We can say, hey variable, what's your number? And it'll tell us, oh, it was 2. And that way we'll know what the score is. So we're going to make a little layout at the top of our screen for our score. And then we are going to program it so that it actually keeps track. Sound good?
Yeah.
Great. All right. So we're going back to our app that we made last week. So everything should be all set up. But we need one extra thing. We have our coin. That was part of what we wanted to do today. But what else do we want to put on that we were just talking about?
Oh, I don't know.
Remember, I was having you keep track on your fingers of the score,
Oh,
right?
a variable.
Yeah, we need a variable on there. And our variable is really just going to look like a label. So you can put a label in here. And right now I'll just say text for label 1. And we can change it to score 0. Because at the very beginning of the game, before they start playing, how many coins have they collected?
0.
0. So our score is 0 when we start. That's all we need to put on there for right now because we did such a great job last week of putting together our whole components, all of our components. So now we're going to go over to blocks. And we are going to make our variable. Now, we don't have anything at the very beginning about variables, so we're just going to go to our built-in part. We're going to get something called initialize global name to. Now what this is, we are going to name our own variable. So because this is going to keep track of our score, let's just call it score. We'll initialize our global score to, it should be a number, right? Because we're keeping track.
0.
To 0, exactly. And now we have that to keep track of. Now it knows, the computer knows, all right, there's a score in this game, and right now it's 0. But we don't have any blocks that are changing our score yet. So we're going to put in some blocks to change our score. So let's go to our coin. We're going to say when a coin is collided with something. Have you guys ever heard the word collided?
No.
It means it hits something else and it bumps into something. What do you think our coin might be bumping into on this screen? What's the only other thing running around?
Another coin.
The leprechaun! Come on. It's the leprechaun. So, when our coin is collided with something, because the only other thing it could collide with is the leprechaun, we know it's the leprechaun. So, what do we want to do when the coin collides with the leprechaun? What changes?
The coin would disappear.
The coin would disappear. So that's something about the coin. So we're going to click on the coin, and we're going to find something called coin.visible. Visible means like seeable. You can see it. So we're going to set coin.visible to false. We haven't talked about this much in this class, but we have two options for if the coin is visible, true or false. We are going to pick false, and that's in logic. Set coin.visible to false. It's not visible. It shouldn't be visible. It should be invisible because we don't want to see it anymore. We also need to do what?
Oh, change the score?
Yeah, we're going to change the score. We're going to set the score the same way we set other things. We're going to set, whoops, get in there. Set our global score to, what's the pattern here? What did we do? What did you set your score on your fingers to when I said one more thing?
I increase the finger.
Yeah, you increase a finger. You're going to get your old score and add 1. Kind of the same way we did with the coordinates, right? We set x to the old x plus 10. So we're going to set our global score to, we're going to use plus. We're going to set our global score to our old score. To find our old score, we have to use a block called get. So get our old global score. We're going to ask, hey score, what are you right now? And it'll say 0. And we say, okay, and how much do we want to add to that?
1.
1, exactly. So we're going to set our score to our old score plus 1. Perfect. And now that should work. But we want to think, what about if you know what? How would our person know that our score changed, right? They wouldn't just yet because we didn't change anything on the screen. So what did we just put on the screen to help us show the person the score?
I don't know.
Our label, right? We said score equals 0. So we're going to get our label. We're going to set our label's text to show the person. Oops. We're going to set our label's text to, we need 2 different parts of this, right? We need the score part and we need the number that the score is. So we're going to use something called join. That just puts 2 pieces of text together. Doesn't want to drag over. We're going to join something that says score, and we're going to join the other part is the number that our score is. It's going to be get global score, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. And now if we test this out, when we hit the coin, our label will change from score 0 to score 1. And our coin will go away. But what if we want the coin to go to a random place on the screen instead?
The coordinate grid.
Yeah, we're going to use the coordinate grid. Great idea. So when the coin is collided with, we still want to keep our label and our score, so I'm going to hold this out. But we want to keep our coin visible. We just want to put it somewhere else. So we would set the location of our coin to somewhere else. So we're going to move our coin. Call coin.move2. We're going to say we're going to move the x to We want it to be random, so we're going to choose a random number between something and something else. Oops. And a random number between something and something else.
What's integer?
An integer is a fancy name for a whole number. We can't choose 14.5, but we can choose 70, or we can choose 100, or we can choose 200. And I am blanking on exactly what the limits are, but we want this to be all the way from our 0, whoops, to the very edge of our screen, the very edge of our canvas, right, where our sprites are running around. So maybe like 400, I don't remember exactly, we can like put a comment on the video for this. Sorry people watching the video. And maybe the y is like also like 500, we don't know, something along those lines. But instead of making the coin invisible, we're just going to have the coin move, and then they can keep playing and keep collecting coins until they get tired.
Wow.
That's it.